Want to go first?
I was born in Washington, D.C., grew up in St. Louis, graduated high school there, went right into the Army with the Army Nurse Corps Scholarship Program that was in place at that time. And now I guess I'm a worldwide person, just traveled and been assigned in different places during my career.
Well, I grew up in California, and I went to the University of California, Berkeley, and I was in ROTC. After my plan was to go into the Army for 2 years and then come back and be a high school English teacher and football coach. And those 2 years turned into 23 years. Had a great time in the Army. Not every day was great, but most of the days were great, and I had a lot of opportunities. And so when I got out, I got into higher education. Kind of always knew I was going to be a teacher, and I kind of worked my way up and found myself as a president here at Nicholls State. Well, of course, Vietnam was going on, and I made the announcement one day that I was going to join the Marine Corps. And then my mother told me no, I wasn't, and so she said, you can do that after you graduate from college. And I said I believed her, and so I went and went to college first. They kind of helped me with my priorities to make sure that I got everything that you need to get done, and I went off to college. But I thought about it, and we didn't have high school ROTC in my school, but when I went to college, I kind of always had in my mind that military was one of the things that you kind of had to do as a citizen, and so I was in ROTC in college.
Yeah, I had not really considered the military. There was not much going on at this time, Vietnam era, for women, and found out about the opportunity to serve as a military nurse through my father and his work he was doing with Department of the Air Force in St. Louis. He's the one that found out from his friends about an Army Nurse Corps scholarship program, which he encouraged me to apply to, and I did. It was being the oldest of 5 children to get a full ride. There was a 4-year commitment after college to serve as a lieutenant in Army Nurse Corps, and it just seemed like the right thing to do. So I applied, was able to get accepted, and proceeded on from there. Right after high school graduation, I went right in. My father and grandfather, both my grandfathers and my dad. Yeah, I also have 2 brothers that served.
My dad was in World War II, and in fact, one of the places that he was stationed, the last place they were stationed, was Lafayette, Louisiana, at Lafayette Airfield. And so, but he was not a career military person. He got out and sought other things. But I have one brother, and he's a Naval Academy graduate, and he spent a 30-year career in the Navy as a submariner and a submarine skipper and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of a military family, but not really. I mean, my parents weren't military per se. I guess in World War II, everybody was in the military. Almost everybody was in the military one way or another. Well, it's funny because, yes, I think they were very, they always said you can do what you want. I wasn't forced. And I found that my mother, as time went on, became less encouraging, and I don't know why. Maybe as she got older, she had 2 sons, one in the Army, one in the Navy, and both were officers, and both were moving along and all that kind of stuff. And kind of later in life, she was kind of a little more anti-military, but not terribly so, and it didn't have much effect on us by that time. We had already committed.